This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215. That's 793-7215 for Carpet Masters.
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and KCAA FM Yucaipa 106.5 FM.
Good morning, I'm Chuck Kamlick. CNBC Radio stocks will fall on Wall Street today. The Dow, currently on a 4-day winning streak, could come to an end. Volkswagen's American chief will be grilled by Congress today. Michael Horn will tell lawmakers that he knew about the emissions cheating 18 months before VW admitted to it. No stoppage at Fiat Chrysler. The company and the UAW agreed to a new 4-year deal last night. Workers still need to ratify it. They did reject an earlier agreement that the union leaders supported. A retail group says Americans plan to spend a little less this Christmas than last because they're worried about a possible government shutdown. But Americans will have more money to spend thanks to lower gas prices, and a new study says they're spending some of that money now, using 80 cents of every dollar they save on gas to pay off bills. And Sony wants to sell its half of the music publishing business it owns with Michael Jackson's estate. That catalog owns the rights to songs by the Beatles, the Stones, Taylor Swift, could be worth at least $2 billion. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio.
While most video surveillance solutions capture and store hours of nothing, Kcaa by Barracuda Networks only captures video when something happens. Once captured on camera, the video evidence is immediately encrypted and sent to the cloud for safe storage and easy retrieval from any web browser or mobile device. With Kcaa, there's no network configuration or software to install. Just plug one or more cameras into your network to better protect your business. Don't get caught with nothing. Do something about it. Check out Kcaa.com. That's CUDAEYE.com.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
With your Thursday news, I'm Jim Miller, KCAA 1050 AM, CNBC News, the station that leaves no listener behind. An Ontario man accused of shooting at a group of teens, wounding one after the car they were riding in lost control struck the man's car parked in his driving range. Jorge Estrada, who was 45, pled not guilty in West Valley Superior Court yesterday to charges of attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. It happened in the 1500 block of North Baker Avenue when, for unknown reasons, the driver lost control, sending that car into a parked car in the driveway of Estrada's home. After a dismal season of little snow in Southern California mountains and as the state's historic drought rages on, there hasn't been much to cheer about for local ski resorts and the communities around them. That changed in one night this week as ski enthusiasts and the businesses that cater to them woke up to an inch of snow in Wrightwood Monday. Reason for this high expectations? El Nino, a multi-billion-dollar ski industry looking to that notoriously unpredictable weather pattern, the one that warms waters in the Pacific Ocean and causes more rain here to help bring the white stuff to local mountains. A San Bernardino County Sheriff's detective honored tonight by the Catholic Diocese for his actions above and beyond the call of duty. The ceremony, Blue Mass, held at Our Lady of the Rosary Cathedral on Arrowhead Avenue in San Bernardino. Detective David Clifford who's assigned to the Crimes Against Children detail, being honored for the compassion he shows the victims. Clifford, a 15-year veteran of the Sheriff's Department, receiving the Chief Patrick G. Crow Public Safety Award. I'm Jim Miller, KCAA, 1050 AM, CNBC News, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Good morning, it's Aaron Brinker. It's time for your KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM traffic report. On Mira Loma, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 60 westbound between Mission Boulevard and Phillips Ranch Road. The 10 west is slow from the 15 to White Avenue. The 210 west is busy between the 15 and Euclid. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. The 71 south is busy between Euclid Avenue and the 91. In Moreno Valley, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Alessandro Boulevard and El Cerrito Martin Luther King. The 60 west is busy between Day Street and the 215. In Moreno Valley, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 215 northbound before East Ridge / Eucalyptus Avenue. This is an injury crash in the center divider. In Ontario, slow traffic on the 10 westbound between Haven Avenue and the Town Avenue exit. That's exit 46. 10 west from Haven to Town is slow. The shoulder is blocked on the 10 westbound approaching Archibald Holt Boulevard. And finally, in Corona, slow traffic on the 15 northbound between Wyrick Road and Highway 91. This has been your KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM traffic report. I'm Aaron Brinker.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
Miss something today, yesterday, last week? Check out our podcasts at www.kcaaradio.com. AM 1050 KCAA. We leave no listener behind.
Don't wanna be a Canadian idiot.
Good morning. A little Weird Al in the morning. I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Absolutely love Weird Al. Absolutely love Weird Al. So how you doing this morning, Todd?
Pretty good. Enjoying the little bit of warmth, a little bit of coolness in the beginning of the week. It's been a nice week so far.
Yeah, it's supposed to be blistering this weekend, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's going to get there. But I hear there's some rain coming in behind that again, too. So,
good.
Yeah,
well, that rain needs to keep coming.
Seems like we're going to have kind of a damp fall as we roll into fall more, and I kind of like that. Certainly we need it.
We certainly do need it. From what I understand, the oceans are warmer now than during the El Nino in 1997, which I think was the biggest El Nino we had in many years before and after.
Yeah, actually it was interesting. We did I don't know if you recall, a couple weeks ago we had talked about the fact that the El Nino temperatures had gotten higher, and I actually found this chart that showed the temperature of the El Ninos going back the water temperature of the El Ninos and El Niñas measured back to like the 1950s when we first started measuring them. And if you drew a line, each one was getting warmer and warmer as it went up. And so it's interesting to see that as time goes by, it's getting warmer. I think that fits into a lot of people's story about global warming. And what also was interesting, though, is that they contrasted that with the amount of rainfall, and unfortunately, it doesn't always mean rainfall. Which is a little frustrating, but pretty cool to see that we get some rain this time around.
Well, we've had a rainier end of summer, beginning of fall than it's rainier than I can remember it being. We've had lots of rain, lots of showers, and which is great. Keep them coming. I mean, I don't want to be like Charleston, but I would love to have enough water to make some headway out of this drought. So,
absolutely.
So yesterday, Tobin and I played several interviews with some of the speakers that were at the summit. That was on Tuesday. The San Bernardino summit, and so the San Bernardino Sun, Ryan Hagan, has an article here talking about it. It was really Tobin went and Mark Westwood went. Brandon McCormick, who I haven't said hello to this morning. Good morning, Brandon.
Hello.
So, what did you think, Brandon, about this summit? Did you enjoy being there?
It was interesting to see that many leaders in one place and not arguing.
Oh, so yes, not arguing. That's really important.
They were all agreeing and trying to make San Bernardino a better place. That was nice to see.
Yes, I agree. So the city and school leaders met Tuesday morning to share visions for restoring the All-American City, and that was the title of the event, speaking both of long-term prospects and as soon as 2 weeks from now when the City Council is scheduled to choose a development partner for the Carousel Mall. Now, KCAA is very interested in the Carousel Mall redevelopment because, well, we're in the Carousel Mall. The Assistant City Manager, Bill Manis, said in May that 4 developers were finalists and that the 43-acre mall would likely be razed and replaced with a mixed-use project including commercial, retail, and residential units. And that's kind of like Victoria Gardens because there's all of that at Victoria Gardens. Manis was scheduled to speak Tuesday, but in one of several agenda switches, Jim Morris gave a presentation instead. Morris, the son and chief of staff of former Mayor Pat Morris, was contracted for redevelopment work in the city, but Mayor Kerry Davis vetoed a 4-3 vote to keep him on board when his contract expired last week. Despite the hullabaloo over the mall, Morris said Tuesday, rebuilding of downtown core should begin with subsidies that build off what the city has now. And when he's really talking about Regal Cinemas. And if you've never been to the Regal, you have to go. Comfortable seats, the lines aren't horrible. It's, they're friendly. I love that theater. I would much rather go to the Regal than the Krikorian in Redlands. And he said, be wary of the person who tells you, I'll take the 35 acres and develop it tomorrow, because tomorrow means today's market. And so economist John Husing, the keynote speaker, said the Inland Empire economy was doing well. As he said earlier this year, it continues to have the state's second highest job growth, but said that the city particularly needs to focus on the fact that 53% of the city's renters. That's our biggest issue. We have all of these rental properties. If the problem isn't solved, you will fail, he said, suggesting that renters are not vested in the city the way homeowners are, period. And I would agree. Morris, whose presentation was centered around using the lessons of legacy cities, older cities like Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Flint, Michigan, that have seen industries leave as opposed to the newer cities that make up most of the Inland Empire, agreed that the number of poor people in the city was a problem. But he said the solution needs to be empowering those residents. We can't grow out of this, he said. San Bernardino is a city of a quarter of a million people, and we won't attract another 250,000 people anytime soon. The people here now need to be our innovators. Among other things, that will take partnerships with educational institutions, he said, such as San Bernardino City Unified School District, led by Dr. Dale Marsden, who spoke next after him. We're transitioning into becoming the city's largest employment agency, Marsden said, listing a number of partnerships and accomplishments among the local schools to help students get more and better jobs. Other speakers include Pat Morris, historian Nick Cataldo, and San Bernardino Symphony president Ann Varicel. And it's very important to talk about the arts when you talk about quality of life in a city. And symphonies is a big part of that, but you also have musical theater, and you have art galleries. There's an art gallery at the Orange Show, for example. At various times, the 4-hour event held little more than 50 attendees. Intended as a Rotary fundraiser, there was a price to get in the door. But I think the people who were there were people that needed to be in the room. So, what do you think about all of this, Todd?
Well, I think that it's great that they're bringing people together to start talking about ways to help revitalize the city. I mean, it's the government can only do so much, and you can vote for people who are sitting in places to help make decisions for the city. But it's got to be people who want to build up their city, people that want to build in their city that help it grow. And so, there are people out there with money who want to find places to invest, and it's got to be the community of San Bernardino's job to step up and say, why not San Bernardino? Get the Chamber of Commerce involved, get people who have a vested interest. I mean, they talked about, over 50% of the people are renters, but that still means that, close to 50% of the people aren't, and they need to step up and show some pride in where they live, and doing things like this and bringing people together to talk about things that they can do, I think can be inspiring, and also is an opportunity to bring jobs into the city. If they're going to do some large-scale redevelopment, that people have to actually go out and do that work.
Indeed. And one of the things that I like about San Bernardino is that there's a core group of people in the city who are very motivated. They grew up here, they love it here, they want to stay here, and so it's not that we have a completely disconnected population. Certainly some of them are, but we have a real core of people who are out there doing cleanups at the park. They're planting trees. They're doing other things, getting involved in the community, and I think that's important. And we need to capitalize on their enthusiasm. The other thing is that the city has this history of entrepreneurism. So many of the fast food restaurants started here, Taco Bell and McDonald's and all of these others. We need to nurture that entrepreneurial spirit, and I love what the school district is doing with their career pipelines and that sort of thing, which is really terrific. And we need more of that. We need more engagement, and more publicity, so that people know what they can study and what they can do at Valley College or Cal State San Bernardino, what resources are out there to get a business started, because that's what's going to turn
absolutely.
that around.
People stepping up and not just relying on the elected officials to do things, but people stepping up and saying, hey, here's something I can do to make a difference, and it would be good for me as well. That entrepreneurial spirit, I think, is exactly the right thing, and you hit it on the head.
So it is 6:16. It's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, and we'll be right back.
Don't miss a minute of the action. Check out the podcasts at www.kcaaradio.com. The station that leaves no listener behind, AM 1050 KCAA.
The Rancho Cucamonga Chamber of Commerce's 19th annual Vintners Dinner Celebration takes place Friday evening, November 13th at the Ontario Convention Center. The evening will feature great restaurants, caterers, and wineries of the area, a silent auction, and live music. This will be the event of the year. Reservations are required. Contact the Chamber at 909-987-1012, 909-987-1012, or ranchochamber.org.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Aladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
We found the problem with your car. Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
What?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
Stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience, and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
While we Americans celebrate the 100th anniversary of our National Park Service, America's so-called leaders are aggressively commercializing our parks, converting these jewels of the common good into just another corporate cash cow. This started with co-branding agreements, rationalized by NPS officials as, quote, aligning the economic and historical legacies of parks with advertisers. In other words, they're selling the Park Service's proud public brand as well as its soul. First in line was Coca-Cola. In 2010, the multi-billion-dollar colossus became a, quote, proud partner with NPS by making a mere $2.5 million tax-deductible donation. In return, Coke got exclusive rights to use park logos in its ads, and it also was allowed to veto an NPS plan to ban sales of bottled water in the Grand Canyon Park. Disposable plastic bottles are that park's biggest source of trash. But Coke owns the Dasani brand of water, so bye-bye ban. Public outrage forced officials to reverse this crass move, but NPS's integrity has yet to recover. Then, this April, the Park Service abandoned its policy of rejecting any ties to alcohol products when Anheuser-Busch also became a proud NPS partner by making a $2.5 million tax-deductible gift. In turn, its Budweiser brand was given the Statue of Liberty. Not literally, but symbolically. Bud now has the right to plaster Lady Liberty, the iconic symbol of the USA itself, on its cans. This is Jim Hightower saying, creeping commercialization of our public parks is no longer creeping, it's running rampant. For example, take a whiff of this. In return for becoming a proud partner, Airwick was authorized to market a new fragrance collection that it advertises as being, quote, uniquely inspired by America's national parks.
The most diversified radio station on the dial, AM 1050 KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. That beginning of that song sounds like a little like a video game there, Brandon. We're trying out songs for Todd's Tech Time. That was kind of fun. I like it. So, Todd, you've got a new segment. Let's put it that way. Why don't you introduce that?
Yeah, this really isn't Todd's Tech Time. It's going to be something, we're going to try this, just see how it goes. It's called Really Quick News. So here it goes. Really quick news. It's all the news you need to know if you don't need to know the news. 3 teens died after their principal hypnotized them, and unfortunately we're not talking about being bored to death like most high school kids. Beaumont City agrees to separate with longtime manager. Parties involved stated irreconcilable differences, but rumor has it one party is cheating with another city. Did Microsoft just unveil the ultimate laptop, or are tech writers desperate to talk about some other company other than just Apple and Google? New research says going to bed late could make you fat. In other studies, so can too little sleep, too much food, and ice cream. Ray Reid sues over exercise bans, he says, that blinded him. And we thought it was just ambition that blinded our politicians. Hunter wakes up to a black bear chewing on his head. The bear was heard to say, I don't want to eat him, I just thought he would make a nice rug for my den. Iran Supreme Leader bans negotiations on the United States, taking a page from North Korean editions of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Smaller businesses fear freeze in the EU privacy ruling, while larger businesses plan to simply buy the EU. When asked, Apple representatives stated it is not Apple policy to comment on company acquisitions or future plans. Disneyland has raised its annual pass prices as much as 35%, making a pass visit to the Mouse more expensive than buying a computer, a 40-inch TV, or a used Hyundai, ranging in prices from $329 to $1,049. That's right, $1,049. That's your really quick news for October 8th, 2015. I'm Todd Brinker. For more details and discussion, stay tuned to On the Brink on KCAA 1050 AM as well as 106.5 on your FM dial. And that was really quick news.
I really like that. I'm now picturing a human as a rug in a bear's den, and then but the most upsetting news about that was that ice cream makes you fat. Say it isn't so.
Oh, I know, it's terrible. You know, you can get no sugar added.
Yeah,
and it still makes you fat.
It still makes you fat. You might as well enjoy it. I have to say, we've worked with so many different exchange students, and one of the exchange students we worked with years and years ago was from France. She was thin as a rail, but she had ice cream every night. She had one tiny scoop, like the kind you get at Spaghetti Factory, the little ones in the little,
the spumoni we all wait for.
Exactly. And she had that
so
amount
good.
every night. And so, and French people do that. They'll have small amounts, but they enjoy their food tremendously. And it's rich. It's got saturated fat. It's got all these things that say that we're not supposed to eat, and they eat it. They just don't have American-sized portions.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, French people don't have American-sized waistlines. So.
Oh, I thought the punchline to that story was, and when she left, she was 312
pounds.
But no,
she wasn't.
stayed thin.
She stayed
She just
thin.
ate her little bit. Well, see, that's the problem. I blame my dad, but in talking to my uncle recently, it seems like it's just a Brinker family thing that, a bowl of ice cream the size of your head is a requirement at least once or twice a week. So
it could be freezing outside, and your father would still be eating ice cream.
He has. I've seen him eat ice cream in the snow.
I say your father, like, you don't do it, or the rest of us don't do it.
Yeah,
it's a Brinker thing.
Yeah. It's genetic.
It's genetic.
I'm blaming the genes.
Ice cream and beer, not together though.
Yeah.
So you brought up Disneyland with the prices of their tickets, and now they're saying, they're putting out reasons why their ticket prices have gotten so expensive. Number one is demand. They do it because they can, and honestly, I think you could just stop right there. That's why they do it.
They do it because it makes their next quarter look better because, they increased year over year, quarter to quarter prices,
Yes.
You're right. It's demand. Well, part of it they claim is that it manages volume of visitors during peak days and peak seasons. That was always the complaint. They dropped that Southern California pass that used to have 150 blackout dates, but the low-end pass still has 195 blackout dates. That's barely what I would call an annual pass.
Indeed.
It's like you're not allowed to go when you're actually off of work. That's pretty much how that one works.
They actually, one of the reasons that they cite for doing it, so they've given 10 reasons that are here in the Los Angeles Times. Number one is demand. Number two is revenue. Obviously, Disney is a for-profit business. The next one is spending. Apparently, annual pass holders spend less on big ticket items such as hotel rooms, restaurant meals, and gift shop souvenirs. Well, you buy an annual pass if you live close to Disneyland. Why would you get a hotel room? And that's they're saying, if the total spending does not equal what all the tourists are spending. So Disney can
sure, yeah, and if you've got an annual pass, you don't spend, you spend $1,000 to get in and out of the place all year long. You're not going to buy the $15 hamburger. You'll just cruise through McDonald's on your way in or your way out.
Exactly. They cite overcrowding. They cite parking, and they want experience. So they say the guest experience is extremely important to Disney, and they want visitors to be happy at the happiest place on earth. Visitors tend to get very upset when they experience only a few attractions after spending $100 to get into a park on an extremely crowded day. And I have to say, my favorite time to go to Disneyland is at Christmas because it's so, it's cool outside and it's just festive. They do the Disneyland up beautifully during Christmas, and it's really crowded.
It's a great time to go on like a drizzly day too. When a lot of people
fantastic.
go, the weather's not good, we're not going to go to, and it's like, man, that's the best time to be at Disneyland.
Space Mountain is
Best
indoors.
time.
The rain doesn't matter.
One of the things too that wasn't real obvious in this is that the new annual passes no longer have the option for a parking permit on it. So unless you buy the $1,000 pass, you can't get a parking permit included. So you have to pay parking every time you go, which again, is a hidden cost that adds to it. The value of the pass is not the same as it used to be.
Indeed. Yeah, I don't know. I used to go to Disneyland every year, and we don't do that anymore because our kids are grown. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to do it. I still think that Disney needs to build another Disneyland and put it in Nevada. It doesn't rain in Nevada. There's plenty of hotel rooms in Nevada. They could build more and put it in Nevada. Make it second Disneyland.
I know a few people who in lieu of doing Disneyland passes have started getting like, Knott's Berry Farm passes or something for the family to go do and enjoy.
Yes.
We've got lots of other beautiful attractions. Not that Disneyland isn't a great place to go out and hang out if you've got kids of the appropriate age and stuff. It can be a lot of fun. But, we've got a lot of options in Southern California. We've got Knott's Berry Farm. We've got Universal Studios. There's a lot of other types of theme parks. Six Flags is a little bit further north. And so in the LA area, in the LA basin, there's just lots of options for entertainment.
Not to mention beach and mountains and all the other, great entertainment you can find in the greater metropolitan Los Angeles area.
Yeah. We're already paying for our national parks and forests, and so get out there and use those. A few months back, I think it was on a spring break, Jensen, my daughter, at UC Davis, was down, and we went and spent an evening camping in the Santa Monica National Recreation Area, and it was beautiful up in the hills there. In fact, Tobin came with us and spent part of the day, but wasn't able to spend the night because he had to get up to come back and do the show.
Yes, and I was so looking forward to that trip, and then it turned out the kids weren't off work, and I had to. They didn't drive yet, and I had to take. Anyway, we couldn't join you, and I was so jealous because it sounded like it was so much fun.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great couple days up in the hills.
So it is 6:30. It's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. We'll be right back.
A journey of 1,000 words begins here at AM 1050 KCAA.
California headline news: 3 people in custody in Oregon in the murder of prominent yoga instructor Steve Carter. He was shot to death while walking his dog on a hiking trail in Marin County. Carter's friends say he'd want to get his killers the help they may need.
Steve's memory is going to live on in all of us, and I think that's the most important thing.
Suspects tracked down in Portland where they were allegedly driving Carter's car. Governor Brown signs into law a bill making competition cheerleading in California a high school sport.
Cheerleading has transformed from just being kind of ancillary to, cheering on the team to actually being their own entity that goes to competition.
State Assemblywoman and bill author Lorena Gonzalez. House Republicans vote today on who to make their candidate to become the next House Speaker. Kevin McCarthy of California, the front-runner, but the California representative apparently may not have enough support to clear the full House. Geico weather, the warm-up continuing at or near 90 degrees in L.A., Bakersfield and Sacramento, with no moisture in the forecast. Jeff Scott, California News.
What's that sound you're hearing, California? Might sound like a regular train. It's not. It's a savings train. And the lucky people boarding it just switched to Geico and saved money on their car insurance.
All aboard! Next up, Cha-Ching City! Then on to Blissburg!
Yep, California. That's the sound of savings.
For a free rate quote, visit geico.com and see how much you could save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And now, a touching moment. Well, staying in touch with Geico.
It was a warm summer day. I was just sitting on a porch watching a babbling brook roll by. Then, out of the blue, I got an update from my Geico app saying my claim had been processed. I felt so connected to nature, to Geico. I stayed there the whole afternoon until that guy told me to stop trespassing on his porch. Sheesh, what was his problem?
Claim status updates, just a few taps away on the Geico app.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies, a high near 73. Tonight, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, a low near 57. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high near 81. Tuesday night, mostly clear, low near 61. Wednesday, sunny, high near 87. Wednesday night, mostly clear, low near 64. Thursday, sunny with a high near 88. Thursday night, mostly clear, low near 67. Friday, sunny with a high near 94. Friday night, mostly clear, low near 70. Saturday, sunny with a high near 95. Saturday night, mostly clear, low near 67. Sunday, sunny and a high near 94. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050 KCAA.
Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper. Now in the IE.
We found the problem with your car.
And
Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
what?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience, and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
It's time for your KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Chino, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 60 westbound between Mountain Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. The 10 west is slow from Archibald Avenue to the 57. The 210 west is busy between Haven and Foothill. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. The 71 south is busy between Pine Avenue and the 91. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 15 northbound between Wyrick Road and Highway 91. In Paris, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Ethonac Road and D Street. In Murrieta, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 15 southbound between the 215 and the 79 south. In Moreno Valley, we have stop-and-go traffic again, 215 northbound between Alessandro Boulevard and El Cerrito/Martin Luther King. The 60 west is busy between Heacock and the 215. And finally, in Moreno Valley, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 215 northbound before East Ridge Avenue, Eucalyptus Avenue. This injury crash is in the center divider. This is Erin Brinker with your KCAA 1050 AM traffic report and FM 106.5 traffic report. Have a great day.
KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM congratulates On the Brink with Erin and Tobin Brinker on their 2015 Inland Empire Ad Club nomination for Radio Show of the Year.
We can fight our desires, but when we stop making fires.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. You know, it is so cool to say that.
Yeah. It is. That is cool.
It is really cool to say that. We're going to be bringing on a third FM station, so we get an even broader reach here in the Inland Empire and beyond, and that's very, very exciting to see that the station, investing so much in growing our listening audience.
AM and FM everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. In fact, we're talking about businesses expanding in the Inland Empire and people stepping up and doing it, and that's a perfect example. By the way, I heard in the little lead in there, congratulations on nomination for the award.
Thank you.
Have done a good job building this up, and I know it's mostly falling on your shoulders. You do a lot of work to make this show happen, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. I love being on the air. I have a big mouth. It's now I have an outlet for it. I say now. I've been on the air. It's been 6 years. October is my sixth anniversary for joining with KCAA. And I have to say, before we go on to a news story, that I'm grateful to Fred Lundgren for giving me that chance. When I was first, provided an opportunity to sit in this chair and talk in this microphone, I had never worked in radio before. I had no experience. I've been a fan of talk radio all of my adult life, all different kinds and types, conservative and progressive, et cetera, et cetera. But I'd never sat in the chair, and I really am grateful for the opportunity to be here every day and have so much fun. And I love that you've joined the show, Todd. And I will tell our audience.
Well, likewise, I feel the same way. It's really fun to be here.
I will tell our audience, thank you, that Tobin does Students Run LA. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, he's training with his students. They're going to be doing the LA Marathon again this year, and it's too warm to train in the afternoons. And so until about November, Tobin trains on Tuesdays and Thursdays before school. And that's why Todd joined us. And he's going to stay with us after Tobin returns, and it'll be the three of us on the air. And so, maybe they'll have like brotherly fights. I don't know.
Oh, no, we get along great. We always have gotten along great.
No mom loves you best kind of stuff going on?
Well, we know she loves me best.
That's great.
And since he's not here, there's nobody to argue with
there you
me,
go.
So I must be right.
You must be right.
However, I'll never forgive him when he jumped on my back when I was 7. No, I was 10 and he was...
All right, so on to very much more serious news. We had this new treaty, although they're not really calling it a treaty, agreement with Iran, right? It's a new big nuclear deal, and the reason that our president cited that they're doing this, and it wasn't just him, there were multiple nations that were part of this deal, was that he wanted to bring Iran back into the community of nations, and they thought that this was the right way to do it. Well, unfortunately, the Ayatollah seems to have some different ideas. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, on Wednesday banned any further negotiations between Iran and the United States, putting the brakes on moderates hoping to end Iran's isolation after reaching a nuclear deal with world powers in July. Khamenei, the highest authority in the Islamic Republic, already said last month there would be no more talks with the United States after the nuclear deal, but has not previously declared an outright ban. His statements directly contradict those of moderate Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, who says his government is ready to hold talks with the United States on how to resolve the conflict in Syria, where the two countries back opposing sides. Negotiations with the United States open gates to their economic, cultural, political, and security influence. Even during the nuclear negotiations, they tried to harm our national interests, Khamenei was quoted as saying on his website. Our negotiators were vigilant, but the Americans took advantage of a few chances, he said. Although he supported the last 18 months of negotiations, Khamenei has not publicly endorsed the nuclear agreement in the United States, with the United States, France, Germany, Britain, China, and Russia that settled a standoff of more than a decade. The West feared Iran wanted to develop nuclear weapons, and that's suspicions that Tehran denies. So I wonder what the Kremlin's role is in this ceasing of discussions. That the Kremlin, so that the Russia and the United States are it's heating up in Syria right now, and Iran is allied with Russia, and so I'm wondering, what Russia's role is in all of this.
Yeah, it seems very peculiar that a country that had decided to start talking to us has now resolved that the best course of action is don't talk to people that you have disagreements with, because people in your country are naive and might be influenced by those conversations. When the fact of the matter is they control all of the news flowing in and out of the country that their rank and file population hears, and so they could control certainly anything that goes that their population is. So the reasoning is pretty slim. It makes you wonder. Russia has been asserting themselves pretty significantly throughout the Europe and Asia recently, and I think that's a very valid question to say. What is their role? It was just yesterday they were saying that Russian planes were flying close enough to some of our flights and drones that we were now altering our flight path because we wanted to maintain a safe, they said safe, 20-mile distance between us and them. And 20 miles seems like a long way, but that's within the range of weapons these days. And so 20 miles is not. And when you're flying as fast as some of these jet planes are, they cover 20 miles in just moments, and it doesn't take long for collisions to occur. And so we've been trying to work with the Russians to agree on agreed protocol for overflights in Syria and over ISIL. They're just Russia. It's. I'm concerned to see what Russia's doing in the area in general, but certainly, you kind of see their fingerprints on this.
Well, you know what? There's a technical term for what's going on with these flights over Syria. It's called playing chicken. Mm-hmm. It's playing chicken with Russian fighter jets over Syria that's not good news. And it's interesting
Russian roulette.
Exactly. It's interesting that you said ISIL, because the difference between ISIS and ISIL is that ISIL has that L in that, which means the Levant. And Levant area is really what these ISIS and others consider all of the Middle East to be into North Africa. Mm-hmm. It includes Israel, and they want the whole Levant area to be Muslim, which means that it means annihilating Israel. And so that's what that term means. That's what they're talking about when they use that, the Levant term. And most Americans don't know that.
No, you're right. Yeah, most Americans are fairly ignorant of geography, even in their own country, much less somewhere on the other side of the planet. And the idea. I mean, their stated belief is that there should be a Islamic caliph that has a single leader at the head that runs that entire area, and that it would be completely dominated by that single infrastructure, and it would be Muslim, which doesn't leave a lot of room for Israel to feel comfortable in over there right now.
So in his address to the Revolutionary Guard's Navy commanders, Khamenei said the talks with the United States brought only disadvantages to Iran, which no. Through negotiations, Americans seek to influence, this is his quote, seek to influence Iran, but there are naive people in Iran who don't understand this, Khamenei was quoted as saying to the IRGC commanders, who are also running much of Iran's military involvement in Syria. Hundreds of Iranian troops arrived in Syria last month, sources told Reuters, where they will join government forces and their Lebanese Hezbollah allies in a major ground offensive backed by Russian airstrikes. The West disputes the aims of the Russia's air campaign, which is causing friction between Moscow and NATO. We are in a critical situation now as the enemies are trying to change the mentality of our officials and our people on the revolution and our national interests. This is what Khamenei told the guards. He also often invokes an unspecified quote-unquote enemy when talking about Western powers, particularly the United States and Israel, which he suspects of plotting to overthrow the Islamic Republic, which I think is absurd, because when the people rose up and tried to have a green revolution in Iran, our government did nothing to help the people and the people in Iran, and the Iranian government slaughtered their own people.
Yeah, well, it's such a quagmire over there. I mean, it's difficult. It seems to me like our country has, with the best intentions, done nothing but make things more difficult over there at the same time. Not fully understanding the history of stuff. I mean, we've I think, like I said, with the best intentions, tried to create a place where people can have some freedom to create their own space and live a life. That's what everybody wants. They want a place where they can raise their children and live their life, and have food and shelter, and be families. And with the best intentions, we went and we took out the power structure that existed in Iraq, and in the vacuum, there's been a mess.
Well, our leaving created the vacuum, in my opinion. Now, not everybody believes that, but if we had stayed, I think that Iraq would have continued to get better, because they were getting better. But we made the decision not to.
To play devil's advocate, though, we couldn't leave unless we were there. So had we not been there, then the power structure that was there, although he was a bad guy, no doubt, we didn't have the all-out war rolling throughout the area when he was there. And I'm certainly not defending him in any way, shape, or form. He was a murderer, and he deserved to be removed. But maybe marching into Iraq wasn't necessarily the right way to handle that in the first place. And I wonder that we're not doing some of the same kind of things in Syria right now, in that Assad is also not necessarily a good guy. And and I'll be the first to admit that I'm one of those Americans that doesn't know all the details of what's going on in the Middle East. But again, we're taking a guy and saying, well, we don't want ISIS to be here, but we also don't want him to be here. So what do we want? We want some other people that we're calling moderates that we really don't know a whole lot about there. And so the Russians are coming in and saying, no, we're going to back what we view as the lesser of two evils, and they're backing Assad right now. And it just seems like we need to get our act together in terms of all of these outside powers that are coming in there. Turkey is becoming more active in what's going on. We're becoming more active in what's coming on. The Russians are certainly becoming more active in what's going on over there. And there's going to be a lot more death and destruction before there's any peace. And we need to think about the end game a little bit.
Yep. Bashar al-Assad is a butcher, but he's a butcher. He was the butcher that we knew versus the butcher that we didn't, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the one thing that is you can glean from all of this is that it's complex. I mean, there's no simple answers.
Yeah. Well, the scary thing that's different about this, I mean, it felt like we're going down a similar path that we did in Iraq, but what's different here is the Russians are actively involved this time.
Yes,
when we were in Iraq, they kind of sat on the sidelines and watched. And this time they're stepping in, and I'm wondering if they're looking at going like, well, you guys didn't do such a great job last time, so now you're getting our help whether you want it or not. And their leadership is, if nothing else, they are proactive and they stick. They are consistent, and when they make an action, they stick behind it and follow through, whether you like it or not. Our country tends to be fairly wishy-washy as a country in our actions, because as soon as we change presidents, then the direction changes, and so every 4 to 8 years we kind of shift, whereas they've had a pretty consistent leadership for a couple decades.
So it is time for a break. We're actually over for a break, so I have to stop you right there. We can come back to it. Actually, when we get back, we'll have Todd's Tech Time. It is 6:49. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We'll be right back.
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and 106.5 FM Yucaipa.
Are you looking for the right place to purchase your landscaping items? Well, come see us at Hydroscape. Hydroscape offers a large selection of irrigation products including Irritrol and Toro, such as their efficient precision nozzles. For 40 years, Hydroscape has been family-owned and operated, serving Southern California. With 17 locations, our knowledgeable and experienced staff is equipped to help you with all your irrigation, landscape, and outdoor living projects. Whether you're installing irrigation systems, wanting to maintain a healthy landscape, or simply create a beautiful lit space for outdoor entertaining, Hydroscape is the place to go. Visit our website at hydroscape.com for more information and find helpful articles on our blog, or call our customer service center at 1-800-395-4477.
In the mood for some great Chinese food? Well, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is where you need to be. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food not only has a delicious dinner menu, they also offer delicious lunch specials including their yummy fried rice and chow mein. But get this, it also includes any 2 items just for $5.85. Or you can get any 1 item for only $4.85. You should also try their Big Bowl special for just $4.10. The service is fast and friendly. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is located at 256 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino, California. To contact Mr. Yu's Chinese Food, call 909-383-0195. Again, that's 909-383-0195. And yes, the Carousel Mall is still open.
That's right.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Easter Seals provides life-changing services to kids and adults with disabilities in the Inland Empire. This month, when you visit a Baker's drive-thru restaurant, be sure to buy a Safe Halloween coupon booklet for $1. 100% of the dollar you spend goes to support Easter Seals disability services, preschool and daycare for kids, independent living, work and social skills for adults. Your dollar can make a difference. Learn more at easterseals.com/Southern Cal.
Your voice, your opinions, heard round the world at www.kcaaradio.com. The station that leaves no listener behind, AM 1050 KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. So it's time for Todd's Tech Time. Loving this song, Brandon. All right, Todd, go ahead.
All right. So the EU has been changing some rules, or is getting ready to change some rules on how data is stored on individuals. They've got a lot of individualized protections that they're doing there, and they're significantly different than they are in the United States. One of the things that they're talking about doing is banning the transportation of personal data outside the EU, meaning that large amounts of businesses that do data storage and data retrieval will have to migrate to Europe. It'll have an impact on primarily smaller businesses that outsource their data storage. And a lot of companies will build a front end to something, and then the back end, where all that information is held, is outsourced to another company that specializes in data storage and retrieval. And you don't think about it, but I mean, all that information that you search, that is collected on you, or that is saved out onto the quote cloud, has to sit somewhere on a hard drive in a facility somewhere, and they have to have very specific air conditioning and climate controls and humidity. They have to have backup power supplies so that these things can stay online. They have to have multiple attachments to the internet so that if one of them is broken through, say, a backhoe or something 15 miles away from their house or from their building, that it doesn't suddenly go down. I think most people have experienced, loss of internet at their home where they've got it because, a power line went down 15 miles away, or a backhoe was putting in a new pipeline in the road and cut through the wires and stuff. And with data centers, they don't allow that to happen by having multiple connections. And right now, the vast majority of data storage is done in the United States. And in fact, the companies that specialize that not only specialize in having the facilities and things to do, which you could obviously go and build anywhere, but also have some very specific and proprietary information about how to search through that data and how to differentiate their data storage from another place so that you can pull information back out of that data store. And so this change will have a very significant impact on those companies. Most of them are not real large companies, comparatively speaking. I mean, the Apples and the Googles of the world can build a data center somewhere else and manage their own data. But it's the littler guys out there that are going to have a severe impact. And it's also going to open up an opportunity for some data storage companies in Europe. So I think it could change the landscape a little bit.
Now, how much of this has to do with the kind of NSA data breach that was revealed by Edward Snowden? I mean, it was revealed that the United States was going through people's data without their knowledge, and the EU obviously doesn't like that. So is this their way of saying, no, NSA, you can't do that anymore?
Well, certainly I think it's a reaction to that. I think that a large number of the leadership people in the EU are saying, we don't have a lot of trust that the United States will keep their fingers out of that pie. In a perfect world, we wouldn't really care where the data sits. It's not that relevant on the internet because the internet is a worldwide, connected entity. But the reality of that is, like I said, all of that data has to reside somewhere physically on hard drives in a storage location. And if that storage location is in a country that you don't trust, I mean, let's put it this way. We just were talking about, Iran and some of the issues in the Middle East. Well, how would you like it if all of the data from everything that you did online was stored somewhere in Iran?
Oh, that'd be bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't feel real comfortable about it. You would maybe think that, and it's not like we're doing anything that anybody would care about, you would think, but, you don't want all of your email data and all of your pictures stored someplace that you don't trust. And especially if you're a government where you do have some critical data, you don't want that information stored in a country somewhere else on the planet that is not necessarily going to leave it alone, that they're going to maybe weed through that and find out what they can to leverage you to make their position stronger in any negotiations. And the U.S. has just not been trustworthy in that respect.
So will you find that, so there's all kinds of internet companies, and one of them that's mentioned in the article, which I love, is called Retail Me Not. And basically you search for coupons on Retail Me Not. It's great. You can find great coupons. But their servers are in the United States. So what this says is that if they're doing business in the EU, and it's on the internet, right? So they're going to do business everywhere theoretically, then the servers that specifically deal with the EU have to be in the EU. Is that how I understand? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I understand in terms of the way this, and of course it's not been actually enacted yet, but that's what they're talking about. Is they're saying that for people to sell and do things in the EU, that the data has to reside in the EU, and that to transfer that data to another place, even for backup purposes, that there's a lot of hoops that each of the companies would have to jump through, that they really want to keep their data within their borders, because then they control it. And I think it's probably an understandable thing from the EU's perspective, but it's going to have an economic impact on a lot of companies. I mean, like you mentioned, Retail Me Not, and they're certainly not Google, they're not Amazon, but they're not real tiny either. I mean, they do a large amount of business, and that would impact them significantly.
Yes, well, and I'm thinking, Facebook, all of the big companies that people use all the time. And I suppose they're just going to have to. There are, and media companies. Let me complete a thought. Media companies will often have different access depending on what continent you're on, and so this will have to be the same thing. If your IP address is from the EU, you're directed to one set of servers, and if your IP address is from the United States, you're directed to another.
Yeah, I mean, they already do that to some extent. There are companies like, we think of Amazon as being ubiquitous, but to be honest, Amazon is primarily a United States business. There's people who can't use Amazon services just even in Canada. And so, that'll have impact. It'll also mean that, like, if you're an American user and you travel, we're out of time?
We're out of time. I'm
we
so
just talked
sorry.
too much.
I know we do.
I'm so sorry.
It's so much fun.
I gotta learn to talk a little bit faster and do those really quick news really fast all the time.
No, you'll be the disclaimer guy. So I'm Aaron Brinker. And
I'm Todd Brinker.
And we were on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and 106.5 FM. So have a great day, everybody.
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and KCAA FM Yucaipa 106.5 FM.
Fiat Chrysler and the UAW have reached a tentative agreement on a new 4-year labor contract. The union had threatened to strike if a deal wasn't reached by midnight. UAW workers will now vote on the deal. And Sony is reportedly moving ahead with a plan to sell half of Sony ATV Music Publishing. Sony co-owns the unit with the Michael Jackson estate. The Wall Street Journal reports the publisher is valued at about $2 billion. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
While most video surveillance solutions capture and store hours of nothing, Kcaa by Barracuda Networks only captures video when something happens. Once captured on camera, the video evidence is immediately encrypted and sent to the cloud for safe storage and easy retrieval from any web browser or mobile device. With Kcaa, there's no network configuration or software to install. Just plug one or more cameras into your network to better protect your business. Don't get caught with nothing. Do something about it. Check out Kcaa.com. That's CUDAEYE.com.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Ontario, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 60 westbound between Vineyard Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. The 10 west is slow from Archibald Avenue to the 57. The 210 west is busy between Haven and Foothill. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. The east is slow from Tyler Street to 14th Street. The 71 south is busy between Pine Avenue and the 91. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 15 northbound between Temescal Canyon Road and Highway 91. In Hesperia, there's an accident. The left lane is blocked on the 15 southbound approaching Main Street. Stop-and-go traffic from the 15 to the 18 Palmdale Road. In Murrieta, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 15 southbound between the 215 and Rainbow Valley Boulevard. In Paris, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Ethonac Road and D Street. In Moreno Valley, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 215 northbound between Alessandro Boulevard and University Avenue. South is slow from La Cadena to Columbia Avenue. The 60 west is busy between Heacock and the 215. In Corona, we have slow traffic on the 15 northbound between Hidden Valley Parkway and the 10 freeway. South is busy in pockets between the 210 and the 60. And finally, in Moreno Valley, an accident has been cleared on the 215 northbound before East Ridge Avenue and Eucalyptus Avenue. This injury crash was in the center divider. This has been your KCAA's AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
With your Thursday news, I'm Joe Miller, KCAA 1050 AM, CNBC News, the station that leaves no listener behind. San Bernardino County Museum's 55-year-old advisory commission will be dissolved, that according to the County Board of Supervisors.